but if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. There are churches, I know, I've been in some of these churches, I've preached to some of these people. One of my friends was having a revival healing ministry going on, and this guy came 3 nights in a row in a wheelchair. They wheeled him in the back and set him down right there to the side of the aisle. And worship would go on, and he'd sit there and clap his hands. On the 3rd night, the guy jumps up out of the wheelchair, runs around the church about 3 or 4 times, gets to the back of the church and stops, and then walks from the back of the church back into where his tool chair is and sits back down in it. And my friend said, after service, he came to him and said, "Did the Lord heal you tonight?" He says, "No, the Lord didn't heal me." He said, "But for the last 3 nights, they brought you in that wheelchair, and you haven't walked." He said, "That's right, I can't walk." He said, "But I seen you get up out of that chair and run around the church. And then I seen you walk back and sit down in that church." He says, "I didn't get healed." He said, "But I seen you get healed." He says, "I can't be healed. If I'm healed, I'll lose my check." A miracle denied because he wanted to keep the government providing for him, because he failed to understand that our help comes from the Lord. Our provision comes from the Lord. Everything we need, all our substance, everything comes from the Lord. And we've got a church that is more worried about all the things that they're trying to build themselves and bring all this into their wallet and everything. And they're failing to understand when the economy collapses, when something happens catastrophically, it's not that job that fired you that's going to keep you. It's God that's going to keep you. It's Him that's going to sustain you. And if you spend all your time pursuing a career, pursuing after money, pursuing after promotion, and you never spend any time in a relationship with God, when the calamity comes, who are you going to turn to? Who are you going to run to? Where are you going to find that fire, that anointing, that power to sustain you in the midst of trouble? And it's coming.